So here's today's Master of Maths Facts. It's 7 times 9 equals 63. What else do you know? I've put some questions on the sheet for you. What else do you know? If you know those facts, what can you apply them to? Okay, Year 5. So today we're starting a new way of division. It's called the bus stop method because they think that this little line and this line here looks like a bus stop. So here we go. You would have done division before, of course. You've probably done sharing and grouping and maybe using a number line. But again, for Year 5, this is the new method and this is the quicker way to go. So my question is 48 divided by 2 equals. So here I've got the 2. So I've got my inside the bus stop, I've got 48. And then outside the bus stop, I have the number 2. So the first question you need to ask is how many 2s are there in 4? And I'm hoping that everyone is shouting back at me. Well, that's obvious, Mrs. Oliver. There are 2. Then you ask yourself the question, how many are left over? Well, there's none left over here because the 2 2s are 4, so there's none left over. How many 2s are there in 8? 2, 4, 6, 8. 4. So you put your answer there. So the answer 48 divided by 2 equals 24. So here's another example. This one is 76 divided by 2. Now you might know this mentally. You might think, well, if I'm dividing by 2 it's half. But we're going to show you this so that when you come to do your sheet this helps you. So now I've got 2 outside and I've got 76 in my bus stop. So again, my first question is, how many 2s are there in 7? 2, 4, 6. So there's 3, but I've got 1 left over, haven't I, to get to 7? So here's what happens. I put my 3 there because there are 3 lots of 2 in 7. How many are left over? Well, I've got 1 left over this time. So I put my 1 in there. So that is a 10 now. So my question is, because this was a 10 here, wasn't it? How many 2s are there in 16 now? And again, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Okay, so that's 8. So the answer, 76 divided by 2 equals 38. Yeah, we got that right. Well done. So the next question. Oh, I've got 65 divided by 5. Again, if you know your 5 times table, you've got a good idea what the answer is. Do this and then you'll be able to check with yourself, won't you? So here I've got 5 outside and I've got 65 in my bus stop. So the first question I'm going to ask myself again is how many 5s are there in 6? Well, we know there's 1 5. And then this time, how many are left over? So 5, 6, again there's 1 left over. So my question now is how many 5s are there in 15? 5, 10, 15, 3. My answer is 3. So my answer was 13. And again, if you know your 5 times tables, which I'm hoping you do, you should know that 12 times 5 is 60. So 13, that sounds right, doesn't it? I'm using what I already know to check my answers for myself. So the answer is 13. So this time I've got 90 divided by 5 equals. So we're saying how many 5s are there in 90? So again, it's the same procedure again. How many 5s are in 9 is my first question. And again, there's 1. But this time I've got 4 left over, haven't I? 6, 7, 8, 9. So now I've got 4 left over. But because this was from the 10s column, this is now 40. So how many 5s are in 40? I know my 5 times tables. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. 8. So there are 8 5s in 40, so my answer is 18. And again, from what you know about the 5 times tables, you should know, if you know that 20 times 5 will be 100, 10 less, that makes sense, doesn't it? Using what I know to make sure that my answers are right, 18. So you could always have an estimate first, a best guess. So this one time we've got the 3 times table. So the question is 36 divided by 3. Now again, if you know your 3 times tables, you might know the answer like that. But let's look how we set it out for the bus stop method. So the same question again. How many 3s are in the 3 here? Well, that's easy. How many 3s are in 3? That would be 1. Our next question, how many are left over? None. None left over this time. So how many 3s are in 6? 3, 6, 2. There were 2. So my answer to 36 divided by 3 equals 12. This will be the last one we do on the board. So this time we've got the 4. So this is our 4 times table. So it might be a bit trickier. So we've got 92 divided by 4 equals. So we've got 92 inside our bus stop. And we're going to see how many 4s we can fit in. So, first question is the same again. How many 4s are there in 9? 4, 8, 2. There are 2 4s in 9. How many are left over? Well, I've got to 8. So to get to 9, there's 1 left over, isn't it? So this time I've got 1 left over. So my question now, how many 4s are in 12? I've got 4, I've got 8, I've got 12, 3. So my answer is 3. So my answer to the question, 92 divided by 4 equals 23. Hope that helps. If you're not sure, watch it again. That's absolutely fine. That's the beauty of YouTube. Or you can pause it, have a go alongside me, see if you get the same answers. And then in a minute, I'm going to show you your challenge for today with your questions, just like this, following the same procedure for you to use the bus stop method for division. So here's today's sheet for you. It's quite important that you do this on squared paper, so I know you've got your books in your packs. So the first question is, how many is 77 divided by 7? How many 7s are there in 77? Hopefully from watching the video, that's quite clear. So you've got these first 6 questions are set out for you. These next 2, you need to set them out yourself. Think about what number goes outside the bus stop and what number goes inside the bus stop. And ask yourself the same questions as I did. And then here's a word problem for you. You need to work out how you would set that out and then find your answer. I look forward to seeing your answers in the Zoom.